Hello, my fellow tarot travelers. Welcome to Peace Lily Tarot, where reading, teaching, and learning tarot come together. So I want to wish everyone a Happy New Year. I'd also like to welcome those of you who are returning and welcome back to the ones who are returning, and to the travelers who are new, that this is the first time that you are visiting this channel and watching one of my readings. Welcome again. If you did not listen to part 1 of this new series for the 2023 New Year, I highly recommend that you listen to it, because this reading will make much more sense. However, you can also look at this reading as a standalone. You can view it as a standalone and not even look at part 1, but I highly recommend part 1. This reading is going to be based on, and as a matter of fact, I was using, it's just so funny. So what I'm going to do is something a little different today, for numerous reasons, but I'm just kind of conducting an experiment. So this is supposed to be a pick a card, and technically it is, but instead it's going to be pick a number. And what I want you to do, instead of using visuals, like using a card or using an item, an object, I want you to think of the numbers 1, 2, and 3. And I want you to, and I'm going to give you a moment when we prepare to receive. I want you to think about which number resonates with you, just in terms of its energetic pull. Okay, I'm not going to put the numbers down. I want you to think to yourself. I want you to know I want you to just kind of tune in which number resonates with you the most. The number 1, the number 2, or the number 3. And I am going to do 3 different tarot readings. The first one will be the group that resonates with 1. The second one will be the group that resonates with 2. And then, of course, 3 is the third reading, the number 3. So I will remind you about doing that, but I just wanted to let you know that that's something a little different. I just wanted just a little experiment just to see how that works out. For those of you who did not listen to part 1, so I started a series. My channel launched a year ago, and I was on a roll, and I think I posted, I don't know, my goal was to post 34 videos or something like that. And I don't even know what happened, but I just all of a sudden I stopped doing the readings, and my channel was like on a pause. And so I made a promise to myself that I would relaunch, well, not so much relaunch, but begin posting readings again. And so what I decided to do, what I was kind of, that intuitive tug that I like to call it, that intuitive pull, I wanted to focus on the 3 most challenging planets, and which are Saturn, Uranus, and Pluto. We have Jupiter and Neptune as well, but those are the 3 that I want to focus on. And the reason for that is, oftentimes when we develop a New Year's resolution, or we write a New Year's resolution, we come up with a New Year's resolution, many people do not, most people somehow, I don't know, fall off the wagon, right? Let me close this door because my cat, one of my cats left, and then of course they wanted to come back and I have the door closed. But many times, like for example, with a gym, New Year's, in the new year, during the month of January, many athletic clubs, gyms receive a lot of new customers, and people, buy new memberships. And then as the weeks and the months, go along, move along, people just stop going altogether, or they don't go as often as they thought, or, whatever the case may be. And that is just one example. There are many other examples. People have really good intentions about what it is that they want to do for the new year. And then before you know it, it's like a distant memory, right? And so what I was thinking, in combination with wanting to focus on these 3 challenging planets, is to get people to think more deeply about their resolutions. And because I really believe that and I'm going to put myself in with the collective, we don't always dig deep enough to get to the root of why, or what change are we really trying to make? What is it that we're really trying to accomplish? And I think one of the reasons why we don't stick to our resolutions is because the change that we're trying to make isn't really the change. We don't really know why we're trying to make the change to begin with. And I think once we figure that out, then I think we'll be able to approach it in be a little bit more pragmatic about how we go about constructing these resolutions and stick to them, right? And be open to making adjustments along the way, because discoveries are made and it's okay to adjust and to change, right? But that in and of itself is a process, I think, to help us get to the root of the problem, or to whatever it is you're trying to change. So these 3 challenging planets are part of the group of outer planets, and these planets take longer to make a full, trip around the sun, revolution around the sun. Saturn, I'm starting with Saturn. Part 1 was a overview of Saturn characteristics, what Saturn looks like, how to find Saturn in our astrological charts. And then I'm going to do a reading. And I'm going to do the same thing for Uranus and also for Pluto. And so Saturn is all about, did you learn the lesson, right? And many of our challenges sometimes are connected to the placement of Saturn in our charts. And Saturn changes signs every 2.5 years. And when Saturn, and of course, when we are born and we take our first breath, all of the planets are situated wherever they're situated. It's like a snapshot, right? And when you take your first breath, everything's where it is. and Saturn is in a particular position, right? But continuously moving. When I was born, Saturn was in Taurus. So when Saturn returns again and ends up in the same position that it was in when I took my first breath on November 11th, that is what will be called a Saturn return. And these Saturn returns occur 2 to 3 times in our lifetime. When we turn 27, 28, maybe 28, 29, 30, we have a Saturn return. 58, 59, 60 is our Saturn return. And then, and then you add some more years. And then I think it's like 88, 89, 90 or something like that. that you have your Saturn return. And essentially it's like, okay, let's see, did you learn the lesson? You know, and people will find that some of their most challenging moments in life happen around that time. Not always, but a lot of times. So the purpose of these readings is to identify a challenge that we should be paying attention to this year and beyond, because these are, when we're talking about Saturn, we're talking long term, right? We're talking about the grind. We're talking about work that we need to do that needs to be uh, done in increments. And we're looking long term, right? And so these short term goals that we make for ourselves, which we call resolutions, are often tied in with these longer term, learning curves or learning experiences that were lessons that we are trying to master uh, in our lives during our life. And these are lessons that sometimes take decades to move through because of the nature of Saturn, right? So I'm going to do 3 readings. You're going to pick numbers 1, 2, or 3. I'm going to use a 5-card cross. It's like it's not a Celtic cross, but it's like a mini 5-cross reading. And I'm going to use tarot for the 3 cards across, and I'm going to use the sacred forest for the gifts and opportunity parts of the reading. And how I do this, and I will talk through it, especially when I do the first reading is generally longer than the second and third readings, only because, remember, my mission is, reading, teaching, learning tarot. So I like to kind of explain what it is I'm doing and why. So I will explain in more detail the 5-card spread as I'm moving along. But the whole purpose is to identify a challenge that we need to start paying closer attention to, the energy around that challenge, what's our current trajectory, and what are the gifts and opportunities. And even though I look at the cards in isolation, I also look at the overall, vibe of what's going on. And so these readings are not just about what each card says, it's the overall vibe, and the meanings are multi-layered, multi-dimensional. So just throwing that out there. So what I would like for you to do right now, I'd like for us to prepare to receive. Prepare to receive. And all we're going to do is take our focus, because I want you to be clear and open when I begin these readings. I want to be clear and open, but I want you to be clear and open so that whatever is meant for you, you are going to, pick it up right away, right? And so all I want you to do is take your attention to your breath. And you're not doing anything special. I want us to shift into that part of our brains where we can be clear and open and receptive. Just focus on your breath. Breathe how you want. And pay attention to the rise and fall of your chest or stomach. If your mind wanders, that's normal, totally normal. When you notice the wandering, and then just bring your attention back to your breath, and just do it each time you notice that you wander. And then what I want you to do is take 3 deep breaths in, or you can do 5, whatever number you want. 3 breaths in and 3 breaths out on your own. Do one more round of 3s. 3 breaths in, 3 breaths out. Take yourself back to a regular rhythm of breathing. And notice the rise and fall of your chest and stomach, or stomach. And then when you are ready, open your eyes. All right, let's get started. So, again, I want you to think about the numbers 1, 2, or 3. And I want you to pick the number that you are most drawn to at the moment. I'm even going to do the same thing. I'm going to do it too. It's totally experimental, okay? You're not using your sight. I want you to feel which number you're drawn to the most. And then keep that number in the back of your head, and then I'm going to do the first reading. So this is going to be the first reading for those of you who are most energetically drawn to the number 1. I am going to do your reading. So let's see. I'm going to shuffle these cards. Let's see what the spirits have to say, right? The cards. All right, so for those in group 1, what is a challenge that this group needs to focus on this year and beyond? What's that challenge? Okay, so that's the challenge. And what is, okay, the energy, the external influences surrounding, okay, this challenge, and then the current trajectory. All right, so let's put these to the side for a moment. If I feel like I need clarification, I will pull, but hopefully, you know, sometimes all I need are these cards. So let's look at the challenge. I don't read the cards upside down, but I do kind of like, you know, make a note to myself. All right, so your challenge here could be, and again, I'm not looking at the surrounding cards yet. Your challenge in this case, for those of you who picked the number 1, you may have some difficulty receiving help from people. And you are a person who is looked as like an expert of some sort. You are a person who could prove to be very helpful to others, but you don't seem to be connecting as well as you probably should or could. But it could also mean, so remember, there's a whole bunch of you, right? So this is a collective. So that could be the case for some of you. There could be another group of you, subgroup, within this number 1, who maybe you need to put yourself out there a little bit more. You are not, and maybe this is very similar to what I just said, that you are not sharing your gifts to the extent that maybe you should. And whatever it is that you have is desperately needed. But I don't think that you are maximizing all of the potential that you have. And so let's see what some of the external factors are. Kings. So, interesting. So there's a lot of, so we all have feminine and masculine energy. So I just want to like put it out there right now. But what I'm seeing here is when I said that you have trouble connecting to people, or, you know, you have some authority or some skills of some sort, have something that other people need. And so you could very well be, this could be a person who is an air sign, a Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. Um, or you have those four, the element in your chart somehow, strongly in your chart. Could be your rising sign. It could be your moon, but I'm guessing it could be your sun. And you seem to be a highly rational, logical type of a person. When we see the swords, we also think communication. And so, like I mentioned before, that maybe, because I said you're having trouble connecting to other people, or they're having trouble connecting to you. Um, and it could very well be that you rely heavily on the rational, logical, cerebral parts of yourself, which is kind of what makes you the expert that you are. But it's also getting in the way of you making that emotional connection that is sometimes needed in a situation. That, and this could be, it could be a work situation. It could be an academic situation. It could be your personal business. It could be maybe some community work that you might be involved in. But sometimes, even in a business situation where we're always expected to be logical and rational and data driven, that there is sometimes the root of a problem or the cause of a problem is emotional in nature and not rational. And so that might be why the people who are trying to connect with you are not exactly maybe you're not tuning into them in the way that is needed, and they're not getting the maximum dose of, knowledge that you have to offer because of that heavy reliance on the rational, logical side. And I just want to say, too, it's so funny when we say as human beings, okay, we need to be logical, we need to be rational. But the fact of the matter is, human beings are more emotional than they are rational. Rational is not even, I don't even think, is our natural disposition. I think it is what separates us from our four-legged friends, our winged creatures, etc. And there is a place for it, obviously. But, when you think about the tarot, the 78 card deck, it has everything, right? You've got all the elements kind of balanced out. And we all, like I said, we all have masculine and feminine energies, but we also have a mix of water and air and earth and fire. And some of us have more of the others, and have more of some than the others. And so in this case here, it may be that you might be heavily in this air, this rational, logical, that that's kind of how you approach the world, which again, there's a place for that. And we need people in the world who can think that way. But in this particular case, your lesson here is probably to get in touch with your emotional side so that you're also able to see so that you're also able to see when it's necessary to draw on the emotional aspects, the emotional nature of people, when providing assistance or trying to solve a problem. So this card here that I'm about to turn around is if, in other words, if everything kind of stays the same and nothing's done, what will be the likely outcome here. This is very interesting. I mean, if you see these two cards here, and they're both earthy, kinds, but there's a similarity here, right? It is it looks like person is giving. There's a lot of charitable giving. So I'm thinking here that this may have to do with something dealing with community to some extent. I don't know. It could also be family related. So for some of you who picked number one, this could be family related. And again, this has to do with the ability to give, right? And so on the current trajectory, it seems to me, because this is a 6 card and this is a 3 card. So this is telling me that I think whatever it is that I'm saying about this, you are aware of it. You are becoming increasingly aware of it. And you are now in a situation that is calling for you to draw on that emotional aspect. We don't see cups here, right? We see pentacles, very earthy, grounded, type of energy. And you don't seem to be short on that. But the absence of the cups here tells me, and it doesn't always have to be the case. If you don't see a suit in a reading, it doesn't necessarily mean that something's deficient. But in this case, I am really picking up, that the water is not present. So my recommendation would be, since you already are aware of this, maybe, and this is totally, I'm just, picking up on water, take a salt bath, go to the beach, go to the lake, stand near a river, get into a pool. If you are a person that's drawn to water, that is an indication that you are seeking that emotional balance. Just to kind of throw that out there, if that makes any sense to you. So this is wonderful, really. So I am going to draw on the sacred forest, and so the gift, the card for the gift will be here, and the opportunity to be here. So what exactly does the gift mean? The gift essentially means that it is what you are able, and I kind of already talked about it already, I talked about it already, that you are that way for a reason, right? But your lesson is to draw on those other aspects, right? Because it's what people need around you. And in order for them to fully connect with you, you're going to need to learn to tap into that emotional element or the side of you. So the gift, and so like I said, the gift really is, your rational nature has been very beneficial, right? And it has served you well up until this point. Now you're moving into this other phase of your life, and now it's time, but let's kind of see. I'm going to pick this card. Let's see if there's any more information about how this rational, logical side of you has served you or others. Look at this. Family. This is remember when I said this could have something to do with family as well? Yes. So somehow your ability to see things rationally and logically has served you well in the realm of family. So when everyone else, is yelling and screaming and crying and whatever, you are that, steady force, right? Sometimes it could have been to your detriment too. It could have been I think it was. But somehow this rational, logical approach has, and not even just served you well, it's protected you. It's protected you. Wolves, dogs, people in that, people, I call them people, right? These creatures, are protective forces, right? So your ability to be rational and logical when other people can't be uh, has been a gift for you and for others. I am going to read out of this book and see if there's any other information that could be helpful to our one people. This is beautiful. It's a beautiful reading. Let's see what this says. I'm not going to read everything in it, but I'll read parts. Your family has your back. For some people, their family are those related by blood, while for others, their friends are their true family. Many might find that it is their connection to those in spirit who are indeed their true family. Whoever and wherever your family, right now they are supporting you. You are safe. And I say, and I'm pausing for a second. This also has to do with your ancestors as well. So when we're talking about family, your ancestors are part of this group. You can safely communicate your truth with family members. This is the time to be willing to communicate from the depth of your being. Be willing to stand, talk, and address others from the center of your being. This heals. So you may have been in a situation where you've had to like make, use tough love and tell people like the truth about something that, and they didn't always like what you had to say, but you were able to say it with a calm, steady force, right? Again, this is the gift. This is the gift of what it is that you are working on in this Centurion cycle. Many people have misconceptions and false stereotypes about wolves. They don't understand that wolves are highly social and loyal. Family means everything to a wolf. Each pack member has a place in the social strata of the clan. Wolves also are excellent communicators. They use their voice in various configurations. They also use their expressions to convey meaning to other pack members. They are highly protective of the other members of their pack, yet they enjoy playing even into adulthood. I mean, this is wonderful, right? Support is all around you, even if you are not aware of it. Release the belief that you have to do it alone. You don't. This is the time to heal any rifts in your family. Give encouragement to those in your soul tribe, your family, and your community. Allow yourself to be supported. This actually makes so much sense in light of what I'm looking at. If you can just look at the pictures themselves, right? You have been this steady force. You have been, right? You've been supportive, right? But you're in a situation now. You have moved on to a different level in your development, and now the emotional part, is what you are. This is what your part of your lesson is, right? So I'm going to pick another card. What exactly is the opportunity here? And I think we already heard it, but let's see if anything else comes up. For people who pick number 1, what is the opportunity here with this challenge? What is this? What's the opportunity? Grace. Look at that. Look at this. Grace. Grace. Oh my gosh. The opportunity. When we show people a little bit of our, if we become a little bit vulnerable for others, when we show empathy and compassion, it's easier for people to show us grace when we can show grace to others, right? So this is an opportunity. The opportunity here is when you're connecting with people on an emotional level, you got to connect with yourself and then connect with others, right? So if you have trouble viewing yourself with empathy and compassion and love, it's going to be hard for you to do it for others. And so the opportunity here is when you seek out these moments and opportunities to grow the emotional part of yourself. You're going to receive more grace again from others, right? And we back to this card here, just looking at this whole spread. This may have more to do with family, but I think work is involved too. There may be for depending on who you are, you can decide. It could be both equally. It might be more family, might be more business. But I am getting this. You are in a place now in your development, in your spiritual journey, where you are going to have to learn to grow this emotional part of you, which will help you connect not only with others, but others will feel connected to you. And remember what I said here, we've got the Six of Pentacles. So to me, I think you're already aware of this. Like you're already on the road. We have 6, we have 7, we have 8, we have 9, we have 10. You have crossed the threshold. So again, I think your awareness is heightened. And I think what I just said to you is not even a surprise at all. And I will be curious for those of you who who picked number 1, if you could add some comments and in the comment section and just give me your feedback. What did you make of this reading? And if something else came out for you, right? I am not a special person that, I'm the only one that can do this. There's so many other, you can even do this, right? Use your intuition. What's coming out at you, or coming up for you as you look at these cards? It's just like when I asked you, I'm not even going to show you these numbers. I just want you to think about 1, 2, and 3. Which one of those numbers, are you resonating with at the moment? And so that's what I'm asking you to do. Also, if this reading was valuable for you, helpful, edifying, encouraging, please click on the like. The more likes, the more comments. Of course, the algorithm, and I don't know how all of this works, but the more people will see my videos when they are surfing YouTube. So for those of you who picked number 1, that was your reading. It was beautiful, and I thank you for visiting Peace Lily Tarot, and I will see you in the next reading. Bye now. All right. All right, so we're going to start with number 2. So those of you who are drawn to the number 2, we are about to start your reading. All right, so for the people who pick number 2, what's the challenge that they should be paying close attention to this year and beyond? It's that Saturnian message. It's a challenge. Oops. What is the challenge? Okay, here's the challenge. External circumstances, surrounding energies, and then the trajectory. Current trajectory. All right. Let's see what we have here. Challenge. Ooh, oh, look at this. It's upside down. Oh, okay. You're having a hard time receiving love. Yep, number 2 people. You're having trouble receiving love. This may have to do with your partnerships, marriage relationships, intimate relationships, could be friendships, those kinds of relationships. And it's very interesting that we're back to people again in relationships. You're having a hard time receiving love from other people. I think you are okay with showing it, but you're not very good at receiving it. And that is that. I think that that's the main issue here. Interesting how it could be upside down. The other thing that's coming up for me, and remember, this is collective, it's general, so out of the people who pick two, there could be a combination of issues that are going on. The other thing I'm picking up is whatever it is that you do for a living, I don't know if it's what is helping, it's not satisfying. I don't know. There might be some of you out there that are not exactly doing what they love to do. They're doing what they have to do, which is understandable in the kind of world that we live in. But I'm getting that there really is not a lot of satisfaction with, and it could be that maybe it's something you used to love, but you don't anymore. So I'm just picking that up. So let's see what some of the uh, external surrounding energies situation. Ooh, look at that. So it's interesting how we had like that, like both of these are, right? So we've got the death card. I think too, what I'm getting from here, and it's really, I don't know, because I don't have your chart in front of me, but I don't, it doesn't even, and it's not even just your chart. You may have endured some kind of, and everybody, well, most people to varying degrees have experienced trauma. But I'm talking about, really serious trauma that might be involved and may be at the root of this uh, challenge of receiving love from other people, allowing people to do for you, to show you love. You're not able to, I'm getting it. I know that it could also be that you're not able to give it, but I am picking up the receiving part of it. And I know it seems counterintuitive in some ways, because remember how we say, well, you got to love yourself first before you love others. But it is possible to how could I put it? Like be overly generous or overly helpful or overly, as a way to keep people from giving back to you. Or you put yourself in a situation where people can't give to you. But I'm thinking that there might be some hurt, some trauma involved. And when I see right now, for me, the way I'm seeing it in this reading, is that change has been very difficult for you, and you're having a hard, and let me make this really clear. Human beings don't like change, but it's the very thing that we can all be sure of is change, because everything's always changing. At every moment, nothing ever stays exactly the same. But you're having a hard time. You particularly have a hard time with change. And part of that is this feeling lack of satisfaction in the area of love. And again, it could be, your relationship with other people, friends, spouses, partners. It could also be the work that you're doing. I'm picking that up as well. So if everything kind of stays as is, like where you don't do anything, what 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 could likely occur? Oh, 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 oh. Well, this is nice, right? So what I see is, it's interesting that this is the number one, right? It's the Magician card. Interesting too, these are major arcana cards. So we are talking about some serious energy here. If you do nothing and you do not get to a place where you can heal, or you get to a place where you can begin doing work that is uh, meaningful and fulfilling for you, or be in relationships that are satisfying, where there's uh, mutual exchange of loving energy. You're kind of going to be, and like I said, things obviously we're always changing and nothing stays the same. But your movement is, you are at the very, I don't even know if there is even the awareness that whatever issues you have in your life right now where you feel stuck, is the root of it is your ability to love or to receive love. And it is because of some trauma that has caused you to be like frozen in time almost. I don't know if any of that makes sense to you, but this is really, really major. Me looking at this is telling me that, you may need to take a look at your past just to kind of get a sense of where in the world did all of this come from, right? So, as I noted before, there's the gift and the opportunity. So, no matter what challenges we encounter in life, and there are exceptions, do not get me wrong. That's why I say almost always. But sometimes there's a gift. And so, let's consult the Oracle deck. But this is huge. This is major. Some of you may, oh, okay, yeah, I got a card here. Some of you may even be going through a Saturn return. So if you're 27, 28, no, if you're 28, 20, well, yeah, if you're 27, 28, 29, maybe going on 30-ish, or if you're 58, 59, 60-ish, and then 88, 89, 90, 91-ish, right? That means that you are in your Saturn return. And so, which this, and it's interesting with this number one, some of you in the collective are in a Saturn return right now, or you're in the shadow of it. And this is your opportunity here. When I see the Magician too, it's almost like you have an opportunity here to get this right. But you need to come, but you have all the tools that you need to help you through this. I just want you to be aware of that. This card here, the trajectory, tells me it can go either way at this moment. But you do have, so let's see what the gift is first. Because there's always, what do they say, light at the end of the tunnel, there's a diamond in the rough, Let's see what the gift is. Interesting. Focus. The gift is focus. Focus. What could that mean? The gift is focus. The gift is focus. What's coming up for me here is, despite the hurt, despite the unresolved issues related to being able to be satisfied, or the ability to be involved, to experience mutually supportive, satisfying relationships where there is giving and receiving, like this nice ease and flow exchange, that you've still been able to get some things done. Does that make sense? You may have even excelled in your career, just to give an example. You may be in a relationship where you were married for like decades, right? You may have, and I don't know how old all of my viewers are, let's say you're in high school or early college age, right? That you've been able to take care of the material aspects of your life with ease. And you've kind of hidden yourself behind the material world, but you've been able to be successful in your professional, academic, and and seem and even on the surface, it could even look like that you've been pretty good on the in with your personal relationships. But that you have been able to, keep the roof over people's heads, go on vacations, get a nice car, all of those other things you've been able to focus on. And those areas have been able, have flourished. But it's the heart work that needs to be done here, right? And not just the material. Let's see what the opportunity is here for the group 2. Opportunity, 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 opportunity. What is the opportunity? Ooh. Okay, where did that card go? Where did it go? Where did it go? Where did it? I don't even know where this. Oh my. My. Where? Okay, this is really bizarre. I don't even see where the card went. Ah, here it is. Oh, there are 2. Okay. All right, so let's see what these 2 cards are. Purification and growth. Here's the opportunity. Here's the opportunity. Right? Remember I said that you are like I don't want to say you're at, you can only go up, right? You can only go up from here. There is an opportunity for you to, the heart work, purification, and growth. And I did not read, let's kind of go back first. I'm going to do this all together, but all of this makes perfect sense to me. Let's go back to the focus card, the gift, because I don't want to shortchange my number 2 people, right? Let's see, this is 50. Let's see what other messages are in here for you. There is true magic in the world. However, to experience it, you must be able to direct your attention in the direction of your dreams. And I say here that you might be doing what you have to do, but you're not doing what you want to do. Thoughts are things, and as you focus your thoughts toward the good, you will attract more positive experiences and loving people into your life. Love. If you direct your thoughts toward that which isn't working, you will create even more challenging situations. If you are pleased with the direction you are going, concentrate on what you desire, not what you don't want. To develop inner power, gather your energy and focus intently on one thing. Also, diminish activities that aren't essential to this goal. Remember I said that you could be doing all of these other things, but it's not helping you in the world of heart, of growing in the heart realm. Also, diminish activities, I said that, and it will be just a matter of time until miracles begin to unfold. Look, the magician. Lots of potential here, right? Lots of opportunity for growth and purification. Let's look at, I'm just curious here. Let's look at 30. Let's look at what the purification card says. Your energy field is being cleansed of all that it doesn't need. Here's the opportunity. Remember I said you need to kind of go back into your past. What the heck went on? Traditionally, pine branches have been used in cleansing ceremonies because ancient people revered their purifying qualities. The essential oil of pine is antibacterial and antiseptic as well, which is useful for protecting people from harmful bacteria. This card's appearance is a message to release what doesn't serve, support, or empower you. Let go of anything that feels dull and murky in your life. Cleanse your body and your environment by doing cleaning, space clearing, and clutter clearing. When your auric field is cluttered and energy is dingy, you can't see the world clearly and will have trouble hearing the messages from Spirit. The time has come to lighten up, eat and live lightly before a shiny, vibrant new cycle can begin, right? It is essential to let go of the old. Oh my gosh. I'm telling you, this is amazing. The brilliance that pours through you can then shine throughout your life and also help many people. But first, the path has to be made clear. This couldn't be any clearer, right? This is so connected to what I've been saying. And I'm not even going to get into the growth because that is self-explanatory. I'll go ahead and read it. I know some of you are like, please read that. What does the growth say? Things that have been incubating beneath the surface are going to be coming to fruition. Get clear on your goals and dreams because rapid growth is ahead. Be ready. Remember I said this is opportunity here. If you can work this out, the sky will be the limit for you, right? You might find that you are providing expansive growth for others simply by being who you are. Make sure that your foundations are in place because once this growth begins, you will be in for a journey of a lifetime. Fungi are ancient and were the first organisms to leave the water and initiate life on Earth 1.3 billion years ago. In the forest, their interconnected filament-like roots provide protein-rich food and life for the entire forest. The seemingly humble ancestor to the toadstool is so essential that none of our native conifers could survive without the life-giving qualities of their roots. Their ability to grow and survive throughout all time speaks of your ability to grow and thrive no matter what life brings. This is there it goes. We go from one beautiful reading to another. Group 2. Did you hear this message? Some of you are hearing it loud and clear, right? Heart chakra work. Heart chakra work. I'm just throwing it out there. I have not talked about the chakras. Heart chakra, without a doubt. Figure out what those blockages are from the past and release them, right? Even though the food's on the table and you get to go on these occasional vacations and life's good on the surface, there's opportunity here to really dig in and start releasing some of those blocks so that you can give and receive love. If this message resonated with you, please comment, post a message in the comment section, click on like, and subscribe. I think I forgot to say that with group 1. Subscribe. And I thank you so much for visiting Peace Lily Tarot. And I look forward to meeting you again in another reading. Bye now. Okay. Those of you who picked the number 3, here is your reading. Wow, these are wonderful. I am so enjoying this experience this evening. All right. So for group 3, what's their challenge that they should be focusing on this year and beyond? Challenge. External circumstances. External circumstances. External circumstances. What are connected to this challenge. Okay. And the trajectory. Everything remaining the same. All right, let's see. So far, I have not had to pull clarification cards, which is, I mean, it's not good or bad. It's just what it is, but I haven't had to do that. Okay, challenge. Oh. So this is what I'm picking up from this card. Couple of things. Again, there's a bunch of you in the collective for number 3, so it could be both or one or the other. Or there could even be a third option. So I'm seeing here, you're having a hard time visualizing the life that you want. Life isn't terrible at all, but it isn't, something's missing. Something's missing. You have not been able to manifest. So it's a couple of things. Either you're having trouble manifesting this vision that you have for your life. And it could be that you're not exactly clear on what that vision is. It could also be that you have not had an opportunity to be still and to think about what you'd like your life to be like. That's your challenge, right? So what your challenge is could be learning how to create that vision, right? What is it that you really want? You are in a position where you're not exactly getting what it is that you want. And when you think you've gotten it and you figure like, oh no, that's not it. Oh no, that's not it. So I'm wondering what is keeping you from being clear about what it is that you want? What's keeping you from manifesting your dreams, right? You're still waiting for the ship to come in. Oh, this is upside down. Interesting. Okay. People. So it could be family, it could be a spouse, it could be a sibling, it could even be, you had children and you have not been able to kind of do what you've always wanted to do because all of your energy has gone into, your family. That's a possibility. I am not seeing, I don't think this has to do with work. Although you are a working person, but I think family is the main culprit here. But I'm not getting the sense that there isn't anything nefarious going on. I don't even think that they're doing it on purpose, but they are at the root of why you are not able to, or should I put it this way? They don't necessarily have to be, but they are. And I don't think that they're maliciously keeping you from enjoying yourself and having some of the things that you would like. So maybe your lesson, your Saturnian lesson is, what is it that you want to do? Maybe you've been focused on everybody else and not focused on yourself. And so, and this seems, I think this is like pretty clear. I'm not picking up anything else at the moment. This is, I think this is what it is. Let's see if everything stays the same, or you kind of are still, what will ultimately occur if you do not. And look at that. This one is upside down too. Yeah, it's interesting too. This is a lot of number sixes have come up in these readings today. So what's going to happen? Yeah, you're going to miss out on a lot. And it seems to me that okay, so this is also coming up for me. You might not even be advancing in your work the way that you think you should. It could be if you're a student, you might not be able, you're not working to your fullest potential. Maybe you're getting C's and B's when you could really be getting B's and A's. You know what I'm saying? There could be job opportunities that you're missing out on, that you're just not getting. You may not even be getting the accolades that you could be getting because of what's happening with family. But again, I'm not getting that this is malicious in any kind of way. I think you are, so looking at this card here, and I will be interested in seeing what the opportunity card will be. But you need to rethink, kind of, and you need to do this alone. This is not something that you need input from other people for, because notice this person is by themselves. They've got the world in their hands, right? And so you have more control over the situation than you think you do, but you got to figure out what you want. And then once you figure out what you want, you're going to have to pull away. You may have to pull away to help yourself do that, because with all this busyness going on, you're not going to be able to do it. But I will say, it is very clear to me, family may have a whole lot to do with it. And that isn't to say that you're going to have to pick and choose, like you choose your vision over your family. No, I think, because looking at this card, because remember I said I don't really read reversals, but there's an opportunity. I think your family will be very supportive of you if you tell them, hey, and like I said, I remember saying, I've said this to people, you can do it all, you just can't do it all at the same time, right? So pick something that you'd like to do, and I think your family members will be more supportive than you think. I think you think they need you more than you think, and I think they'll be very happy for you, and you will be able to really move forward. And being that this is a 6 card, you're not starting from the very beginning here. I mean, you could even be in leadership, but you can do even more than what you're doing now if you can kind of get all of these other areas in order. So let's see what the gift is, because remember, the gift is that even though this is a challenge, there's something good about it. Oh, good grief. There is something good about it, even in the challenge. So let's see. I am so sorry. Let's see what the gift is. Please tell me what the gift is. What is the gift for group 3? Okay, let's see. Transformation. Interesting. The gift is transformation. So I don't think that, okay, let's put it this way. You have, and your family have been able to accomplish a lot and grow in very transformative ways. And I know I'm just kind of like using this word, but right? that, and this is probably why this is like the number 6 here, right? Because it's not like you're starting from, from the very beginning, right? I have this tendency to want to say ground zero, but I don't want to say ground zero. That the gift here is that whatever energy that you've been able to put into your family, who, or the people who are special to you in your life, has helped you get to where you are at the moment. But in order for you to continue on this journey, right? You have to step back a bit, right? Let's read what the transformation card says. I'm curious. The number 8. Interesting, the number 8. Because I'm not getting, I think, how could I put this? Life is good, and whatever you've done up until this point has enabled you to grow. So I think that that's what this card means as well. But now it's time for you to make the next move, and you will probably have to retreat in order for that to happen. So let's see what this transformation card, the butterfly, right? The butterfly, it's almost like you were in a cocoon and you're trying to break out of that cocoon, right? You receive this card when you are in the process of change. Old structures, beliefs, and ideas are falling away to be replaced with vitality and new pathways. Soon you'll be seeing the world in a fresh way. You're at the beginning, in the middle, or at the completion of an enormous transformation in your life. So you're kind of in the middle, I think, with the number 6. Don't hold on to old structures and limited ways of thinking, even if it looks as if you're in murky waters and things feel confusing. And even if it seems that everything is dissolving around you, this is only the clearing that occurs just before rebirth. It's all for your highest good. Remember, you are safe as these changes occur around you. The butterfly is, and I did say you have the support of your family. The butterfly is a powerful metaphor for transformation. For it to gain its wings, the caterpillar must weave a chrysalis and then completely dissolve into a kind of liquid soup before reforming into the shape of a butterfly. Enzymes dissolve all of its tissues before its metamorphosis into something completely different. So relax into the changes. You are bringing vibrant energy into the world. I think, I think you have what you need. I just think that you've got to realize you have the support you need. But I think perhaps you think, it's funny because it's funny how the person in this card's facing over here, but this person is kind of moving forward, and it's all you, by the way, right? But this is fabulous. I mean, this is fabulous. Like, you have everything you need to move forward, is what I'm seeing here. But using them as an excuse for why you can't move forward is not going to work anymore. All right, what is the opportunity here for the people in group 3? Okay. Opportunity. Healing. Oh, interesting. Funny when I said that you need to retreat, you need to go on your own, you need to be alone. It may be an opportunity. There might be some healing work that you need to do. I don't know if there's because this was upside down, and again, I said I read them right side up, but I do notice there might be a family member who needs to hear something from you. I don't know who it is specifically, but they are in need of a word of validation from you somehow. Um, but the opportunity here is for you to heal and to regroup. So when I said retreat, it could also, I'm not picking up anything right now too much regarding health. But when I'm looking at this transformation card, it could also be that you need to do a little self-care. That might not be an issue for most of you, but there might be a few of you that might apply. Let's see what this card has to say. Number 4. I was so excited about, just so you know, this is like the 3rd or 4th time that I've had to start over again, and I'm so glad. So let's see. This card will appear to let you know that healing on all levels is occurring, and it can come in many forms. Be ready to accept it. Know as well that you are a healing force for others, right? You've been there for your family. You may not even be aware that you are a conduit for healing energy, but when others thank you, simply say you're welcome, even if you don't know how it happened. In many native traditions, bear spirit is thought to be aligned with humans, as he can walk upright like a human. He represents the healer and good medicine. He also bestows healing powers to those worthy. You indeed are worthy. Bear spirit, you are worthy. Bear spirit energy can also represent grounding, strength, and confidence. It activates a stable foundation to face whatever challenges appear in your life. Yeah. Yes. Interesting about, and I guess I picked up on it a little bit. The idea that you need to kind of go off by yourself. You can't, this is something you have to do alone. It almost like going on a vision quest. I'm picking that up too. There might be some of you here that do need to do that. There might be, now that I'm not even just thinking about it, but I'm seeing it, you may need to do, so I'm looking at these cards. So I look at the cards horizontally, but I'm also looking at them vertically. And this retreat that you're going to go on may need to be a spiritual retreat. There might be something on a spiritual level that you need to do in order to make this happen, to continue forward. And you have the support that you need. The obstacle that you think exists doesn't really exist as much as you think. But I think here, maybe, I don't know, maybe you can go, I don't know, I don't want to impose my ideas on you, but some of your options could be you go on a retreat. You take and when I say go on a retreat, I don't necessarily mean that you have to pay money and fly out somewhere, right? It could also mean that you have the house to yourself for half a day and you decide what it is that you need to do for yourself. Maybe you start taking some yoga classes. Maybe you go for a massage. Maybe you get some Reiki healing, whatever the case is. But there's something that you're going to need to do on a spiritual level to get to this place so that you can, but the opportunity is there for you to fulfill whatever it is that, that you're wanting for yourself. But in order to do that, I think there is some, maybe it's that you've been working so hard and you do need to take a step back a bit. This is all for the people who are in group 3. I just want to see something. I want to consult tarot again. Are there any other final messages that could be helpful for people in group 3? Any final messages? Anything else? Yeah, There it goes. Yeah, you definitely need to, yeah, it's time for you. This isn't even like go on a vacation kind of thing. This is what I just said. You're going to have to figure this out. And this is not something that's going to happen overnight. You are going to have to plan this out, which brings us back to this. How are you going to move forward? How are you going to show yourself some loving care? And how are you going to heal? And I'm not picking up that anything tragic's happened to you or anything like that. I think it's just that you've been doing a lot and it's related to your family. And now you have to figure out some ways for you to heal so that you can have clarity and be open so that, you know, your mind can be clear and open so that you can have this, right? And move forward. If this message was helpful for you, or you even see you want to add to what it is that I said here, please add to the comment section. Click like if you like this video, and subscribe to my channel if you're a new visitor. Because if you feel like, you know, I could be that these messages are helpful or could be helpful for others, the more clicks, the more activity that occurs on my channel, the more the higher chance that others out there will see my videos. Thank you so much, Group 3, for visiting Peace Lily Tarot, and I look forward to meeting with you again at another reading. Bye now.